I'm in the Mourne Mountains today, so I'm not too far from home, and I've got a wee weather window. So it was raining this morning, it's to be dry this afternoon, and then I think it's to rain later in the evening. So hopefully that'll give me time to do a bit of walking, get my tent set up and get settled in before the rain arrives. So I've just been up on the summit of Moolieve, which is around 330 metres. So where am I heading next? I'm heading up here, so that's the wee hill in the foreground is Wee Binnian, and the big hill in the background is Slieve Binnian. And this is probably one of the steepest ways to climb up Slieve Binnian, and it's a really cool mountain. Rising over 700 metres, and it's a nice airy walk along the tops and through the tors. This is the summit of Wee Binnian, so the tight wee pull up here, but nothing compared to the pull up there, which is what I have coming next. This is a brutal climb. I was in the Mournes earlier in the week, and I had a nice light pack, just something to eat, something to drink, and some clothing, and I was literally skipping along, carrying all this stuff for setting up camp. It makes some difference. It really does. But it's a cool day, and I'm glad I'm out here and not sitting in the house. There's been a wee bit of mist sort of forming as the air is rising up along the sides, but the sun's still shining and there's still a wee bit of warmth from it, but the breeze is cool. I haven't camped in the Mournes probably for about, I don't know, maybe 5-6 months. I've done a wee bit of walking here, so I've definitely had a hankering to come back. And I don't know, my walking in the Mournes seems to be bringing me around the reservoirs, particularly Ben Crom. And I have camped up on top of Ben Crom a couple of times. And the last time I was here, I did look all the way down to the shore of the reservoir, and I thought I seen like a wee level bit of ground. Hard to tell, but that has stuck in my mind, and that's where I'm hoping to camp this evening. Now, there may be nothing level about it, and I may be sliding into the reservoir, but I have to hope. This is the Buzzard's Roost, and it's one of the probably coolest viewpoints that you can get up along Ben Crom Reservoir. As you can see the whole length of the reservoir, and right down to the dam down there. So, I've less than an hour of light left. I'm just down at the reservoir at the dam, and the plan was to climb up Ben Crom and go up along the top, drop down, and then drop right down to the side of the loch up there, where the wee green sort of patch I saw. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, so what I'm thinking of doing is sort of picking my way along the edge here. I know it's going to be really rough, but that'll get me to where I want to be without having to climb up and then drop down. The other option is to climb up and stay up, and I have the camp spot that I used beside the river probably about 5 months ago, and I was past that earlier this week, and it's a cracking wee spot, lovely and clean, no mess at it. I don't know what to do. I need to make my mind up, but because it is going to get dark. No problem walking in the dark, like, but I need to get set up camp, because it is the rain later on. I'm not sure how heavy. Some of the forecast says heavy rain, some say light showers, so who knows. So I've decided to make my way around the side of the reservoir. And as luck would have it, I've been following a very faint sheep trail. It's one of those wee trails that you follow, then you lose it, then you pick it up again, and you cross these sort of boulder fields, and there's thick vegetation, so you have to watch your step and really focus on what you're doing. It's quite tiring. So I'm out of the horrible stuff. And I've reached the waterfall, which I think you can just about see there. Really impressive, even though it's nearly dark. So I don't know how far to go on the ground. I've changed just to sort of like long grass. So about 5 minutes or so I'll be over where I intend to pitch. I'm still not sure what that's going to be like, but yeah, I managed to get this far, so that's pretty good. I have arrived at last. It's 6:30 and it's pretty much dark, and you know what, I think I can make a good go of this. This is fairly level. It's not totally flat, but it's not often you get somewhere totally flat out in the mountains. So I'm really cool to be here. There's a wee stream in Spate just beside me. So I don't even have to lift water out of the reservoir. I can get it from the stream. So I think I'll get the tent set up. So this is what it's like inside my tent. Pretty snug. It's definitely a one-person tent, and it's a Terra Nova laser, and I've had it easily 10 years, and it's lasted me pretty well. Now I did have to once send it away for repairs. Caught in gales up in the Mourne Mountains, I think one New Year's Eve, and I just ripped the tent to pieces. Man, and I had to bail out about I think maybe 1 or 2 in the morning. The pole was damaged then too, and I didn't send it away to get repaired, but I can still work with that. So unless it's super windy, this does the job. So tent all set up. It is 7:15. It's actually lovely here. You have the sound of the water from the reservoir sort of lapping up against the shore, and you have the sound of the stream that's in spate sort of flowing down as well. So really peaceful, and I'm pretty starving, so I'm going to get something to eat and get some tea in to go. So I'm fed and watered. It's actually lovely outside. There's a clear sky full of stars, but it is shooting rain, and that's why I brought the tent and not the biffy bag. And to be honest, I'm a wee bit paranoid about these Mourne foxes. The last time I camped, sort of low around the reservoir, the fox, literally this pack here. You can see the damage that's still there, and I did shine my head torch up the hill at the back here, and there was like 6 sets of eyes staring at me, and I went, frig me, what's this, like a whole family of foxes waiting till I turn the lights off and go to sleep, and then they'll come and destroy my tent and steal everything. And I did sort of go up the hill a bit, but it was sheep. So, but I am still a bit paranoid. And I suppose a wee bit of a shout out to Paul in a wildcamper, because he was he was over the other side of the reservoir a while back at Blue Lough, and he said that the fox came and stole his food. You know what? I suppose looking back on these things are quite funny, but certainly not at the time. Good morning. You can get a better sense now maybe of where I camped last night. So there's me there, and that's Ben Crom Reservoir, and that's Ben Crom, and that's over to Slieve Binnian, and you can just see what a lovely spot this is. And no wonder it caught my eye, but just a lovely a lovely wee spot to camp. So there was heavy rain last night. It rained from about just after 9 o'clock to nearly 3, so it was about 6 hours of rain, and some of it was pretty wild, heavy, windy, so there's no way that a bivvy bag would have worked for me last night. So that the tent was great, and nice and snug and dry, pretty cool. So I have my 2 pair of socks on, and you know what, I was in the tent for probably 12 hours and had a pretty good night's sleep. No foxes, though I did think I heard a few things at times, and at one stage I let a big yell out to scare anything that might have been outside, but I don't think there was anything. It was just my head playing tricks with the wind and all the noise. So it's a beautiful looking morning. The sun's just started to come up and it's touching the tops, and I'll get sorted, get something to eat and drink, and get on my way. That's me all sorted and everything packed away, and as ever, you shouldn't know I've been here at all, so please, when you're out in the mountains and wild camping, leave no trace. So I'm going to have a go at following this waterfall up. This is the one I crossed yesterday evening in the dark, and you can see there's still pretty good flow in it. So I'll try and make my way up along the side, up to the top, and see how I get on. Wow! Look at that! I'm actually up above where I camped last night, so it's down there somewhere. And you know what, it's such a cool spot, I would actually go back to it again. So after quite a bit of climbing, I've made it up to the top of Slieve Bearnagh, and there's a wee bit of mist rolling in. I'm down off Slieve Bearnagh, which you can see in the background, and once I moved round to the west side, it was chill. It's one of those ones that you can feel in your ears and your toes, and it starts your nose tripping. So I had a choice of heading up Slieve Bearnagh, Slieve Bearnagh and Slieve Lough Shannagh, and I've decided not to do that. So I'm taking this lower path, which will bring me to Lough Shannagh, and it'll be sort of lower paths all the way back to Silent Valley. Just don't fancy doing any more climbing today. And sometimes these lower paths you get cracking views as well, so it's not always about being up on top. Usually you can get across here, this like wee sort of weir where water's being held back, but not today. And this little stream's actually in spate from the overnight rain, so I'm going to have to follow it down a wee bit to find a crossing point. So if you look over behind me, that's the big mountain is Slieve Binnian, the wee mountain is Wee Binnian, and that's the two mountains that I started out on yesterday. And you can see there's a wee bit of a cloud just touching the top of Slieve Binnian. So I'm dropping down along the track, and that's Slieve Bearnagh. I'm going to go up around the side of it, and then that's me dropping down back to the reservoir. So pretty much back, and if you can see my route from yesterday, which was up there along Moolieve, up to Wee Binnian, and then up and along the fantastic big top of Slieve Binnian. So it's been a great couple of days in the Mournes, as it usually is. Trying new things, so I went to that really cool new camp spot that I'd spied a couple of times before, and really pleased with how that worked out, and I was able to get a decent camp, and even though the weather was a bit wild at night, I think I had a really good night's sleep actually. And then the next morning, climbing up along the waterfall, that was brilliant. I'd always looked over towards that waterfall coming off Ben Crom, and thought how cool it would be. So actually climb up along the side of it was really great, and it was as impressive up close as it was far away. And today was a pretty full day's walking, going up over Slieve Bearnagh, and then a lot of lower walking, and really nice weather. So yeah, a couple of really fantastic days.